Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? Welcome back to City Skylines. So today, the very first thing I want to do is I want to make a series of districts. And we're going to name all of these different districts. And the reason that I want to do this is because I'll be able to then use names from the Great Book of Names. And you'll be able to see yourselves in-game. This is the plan. So the first names that I'll be using are new entries into the Great Book of Names for people that have just recently started supporting me on Patreon. Now this one over here, I'm actually going to run all the way up to here. I'm going to divide this area here into 4 separate districts if I can. Because this is a really, really big area. So I figure if we can do this in 4 separate pieces, that would be pretty cool. Let me just remove the edge of that. Down to there like that, so it's sort of on that side, and then start another fresh one over here like this. Bring that up there. I don't want them... See, I've got Myrtle District. I don't want them joining together. Mill District and Myrtle District. Well, if I move them over a bit... Oh, no, they're not going to join now. It's because I've done them separately, so they're going to stay separate. And you have the... Oh, that's good. That makes my life a lot easier, because I was thinking I was going to have to, like, try and make these all sort of fit together. So then I come out there and do that, and it just joins that district in. Oh, that's beautiful. That right there, ladies and gentlemen, is a thing of beauty. It really is. So we can bring that one over to there and onto that side. So I can run up that bit there. And I keep going. Oh, this is so much easier. I really did think I was going to have to, like, try and do this all by hand. And it wasn't going to work very well. So then I can go into here. And do this last one. Bring that out round there. I'm going to take that one up over there to include those bits of road there. Plus all the way out there as well. Those bits. And then that one will come over to that road. So you're going to bring it out to that road, because this is like the first road that was here. So this one was here first. And then that'll go along there. Just connect all of that. Just making sure we get it all. Okay. I've now got 4 districts in there, which I can then name. Plus I got 3 districts over here. And the ones I was going to name first were going to be these in here. So at the moment I've got Spruce Square. This one is going to be the first new name that came into the book from Patreon, and It's No Good. There. The first name. Thank you very much for supporting me on Patreon. It's No Good. That is absolutely fantastic. I really appreciate it. And then we go on to the second one over here. This is Tom the Yank. Tom the Yank. Guessing he comes from the States somewhere. Tom the Yank. So thank you very much, Tom the Yank, for supporting me on Patreon. That is absolutely amazing. Once again, I really do appreciate it. And this person over here is... Now, he's actually told me to use a different name than the one he supported me on Patreon with. 1977 Rugrat. Now, some of you may say, well, hang on a minute, he's already in the Great Book of Names. He is. He earned his place in the Great Book of Names via supporting me in the comments section, and he worked hard. And I feel that this particular person deserves a special mention, because he worked really hard to, like, earn his place in the book already. Well, I don't think it wasn't, like, intended to earn his place in the book. He worked hard doing it, and he has earned his position in the book, right? He is regular contributor in the comments section over a very long period of time. He's been supporting the channel for a very long time. He just recently decided to start supporting me on Patreon and specifically requested, he messaged me on Patreon and specifically requested that I do not use his new name to give him an extra spot in the book. He wasn't supporting me to get a spot in the book. He was supporting me because he chose to support me. And so I said, well, I can add another name. He said, no, just keep the 1977 Rugrat, which is the one that's already in there. So I've kept 1977 Rugrat. But what I've actually done, what he's not aware of, well, he probably is now, he's probably, the penny's probably dropping pretty fast, is that I've added in 1977 Rugrat. So you've now got your name in the book twice as 1977 Rugrat. I know you told me not to use a different name. So I haven't. I've used the same name. I've just put it in twice. Because you didn't technically tell me not to do that. And I'm incredibly grateful for this support that he's given me. He's already in the book and he's gone along and he supported me anyway. Specifically stating he wasn't in order to get in the book. So he's got him in the book anyway. Because if there's two ways you can support me on Patreon. You can either just support me or you can choose to do it without reward. And if you choose to without reward, I won't add your name into the list. I have a couple of people that have chosen to support me without reward, and that's fine. But if you put me in the other, if you use the other one, then I'm gonna put your name in. And yes, he did actually say that he didn't want me to add his name into the Great Book, so I didn't use the name he used, but I have put him in again because yeah, I felt he deserved it. So I'm very pleased and I'm very happy to be able to add his name in again. So we'll keep going through and we're going to just finish naming some more of these districts here. I don't know how many districts we're going to end up with. We've got quite a few here at the moment. That one there is Mikaha. Let's try Michael, shall we? Yeah, so we've got Michael right there. Why is Michael not allowing me to press the X? Oh, there we go. Right, we've got the X there. Now, didn't I do the Phil Bannister? I got Phil Bannister Forestry over there, but I haven't, like, done any of the others differently. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to remove the forestry bit on there. So that I'm going to make all of it equal. All names equal. We're just going to call each district by a name of a person in the book. So we're up to Jamie now. There we go. So we got 4 districts there. That is going to be a massive, great big industrial area. Let's speed this back up again. Phil Bannister down here. And I'm going to divide that one there in 2. This one here, I'm thinking 4, maybe 5 districts. There's a lot of abandoned houses in that one. There really is. And then we've got more districts up here. I might do this into 4 separate districts on here. We've got this one here. This has got to be 1 district right here. So let's just paint this one in a minute. And let's go around like that. Very quick. There we go. So there's one on there. And I'm going to put the garbage one in here. Whoever gets this one is going to be bombarded on a regular basis. And until I get bored with bombarding you with meteorites. And then we'll find another way to torment you. But yeah, torment is going to be the name of the game with the person who gets that district. The garbage district. Although it does feature quite heavily in my plans for this this playthrough, so you're going to be famous at least. There is that. There is that side to it. Right, we'll start another one here, and this one I'm going to bring that up round there, so it goes onto the road, and then that comes down there, and we'll fill all of that in like that, and then we'll go onto this one, and we'll go up round there, and then we'll try and put that roughly into the middle there, like that. Why has it stopped? There, Sunset Park. And the next one here, so that'll go and push up to that side there, and comes out here. All the way around. I have a feeling that we need to add some more stuff in on this side in a minute. We'll deal with that in a minute. Yeah, just right there. It's like it's not quite done correctly. Bring that one over there like that. So we've got this roughly into 4 sections now on our great big circle here. Bring that back round there. There we go. And then in here. So we've got this. This is quite like a wealthy zone here. I consider this to be. And so we'll bring that over there and we'll join that one in. And I'm going to divide this suburb here into 2 sections. So we go there, and then if we come down here, we've got the other wealthy part. Because this is the low part of the suburbs, down here. I'll bring it on this side of that road. This bit down here is lower down. This is much more prone to flooding than the top part. And then that there, that's going to be that district is going to come up to there and over to this road on this side. And on that side, like that. There. There's a lot of dead people in this district at the moment. Not sure that that's necessarily a good thing, to be honest. And then we can bring that one over there. This is going to be one district here. Come up to you. Like that. Put you in there. Right, so there's a load of districts. So we'll just start naming them from this side a minute. We got Grove Hill right here. Where were we? So this is Dante. There we go. And we got the Oriental District here. This is now going to become Patrick. There. Elk Square. Not the Foggy Residence. Elk Square right there. This is Tonza. Let me go through and name them all a minute, because you probably don't want to just watch me type everything out. Right, we've now got a whole load of them in here. We've got Dante, Patrick, Tonza, Zorta 777, Charles, Deuce MS, Ivelios, Jamie O'Connell, Devansh Mahajan, Nigel Pipe, and Miss Pelt have all been added in. Over here, we've got Jamie, Michael, Windwalker, and Tech Lime. And down here, we've got Phil Bannister. And on these islands here, we've got 1977 Rugrat, It's No Good, Tom the Yank. And there was one more somewhere. Wasn't there another guy? I'm sure I had one more somewhere. Didn't I? Maybe I didn't. I was also going through and naming people out. I was like naming the statues, and I did some of those. And so at the moment I apologize, because I got the statue of Tiny Big Man there, and he's a little bit further down the list. So I've kind of started the whole list back over again, and then I've missed one person off the start of the list, and so he will need to be added in, and I'm just looking to see where he can go. But yeah, because I've named the statues, I kind of figured, well, we'll start back over again just for a bit, and then we'll see what we can do. So Phil Bannister here, his district is he's a little bit greedy, I think. So Phil Bannister's district, sorry Phil, we're erasing a bit of your district here, and I'm going to wipe you back to there. And I'm going to do this into some bigger, a couple more sections. That one is not going to, I'm not going to divide that in half. I'm going to try and do this so that we've got, there, if I do it like that. This is roughly here, 3 sections now. And I'm going to turn them into forestry sections anyway. But yeah, we've got roughly 3 sections there. Right. Put that across like that. So we've got Belmont Hills, we've got Hickory Park, and we've got Phil Bannister. So then, if I look down here, we want residential, industrial specializations. I want forestry. Belmont Hills and Hickory Park is the same as Phil Bannister. What they actually are, if I come out of that area completely, this one here needs to be named Tyree, which was the first one. The reason I was confused is because I recorded an episode of World of Warcraft earlier on today, and I used Tyree's name in that one as well. I think it's easier if I just sort of go through the list in each game, rather than trying to cross it over, because I'm just going to get confused. Just going to get horribly confused. We've got Gooseman X over here. Gooseman X. There we go. Right, so we've got Tyree, Gooseman X, and Phil Bannister in the woodland area. And then we got this big one over here, and then we got that. I'm going to do that tomorrow. I'm going to come back to it, and we'll do some more on this whole sort of plan tomorrow. Ready for rebuilding. Rebuild the dog park. Now, I've got a whole load of these that have collapsed, and it's because I turned the warnings off. Not really sure what is going on with like the warning. So I'm going to turn those warnings back on. It was quite useful not having these warnings coming up all the time. Showing game guide pop-ups. It's those. I want to have them. Check if your power grid is divided. Right, now we need to check for the power grid. It's still that bit over there. Water, though. Oh. Water consumption is pretty much up to capacity. What I'm going to do is I'm going to join that across there. And, yeah, we've got a couple of joins on there as well. Okay, water capacity is doing pretty good here. If we go to power, power's pushing it as well. We are pushing it with everything. Right, so I've got a load of water intake stations over there, which I don't need to worry about. What I'm thinking is, and then we've got, yeah, I know we've got abandoned. See, I don't want all of them coming up. I just want it to tell me about some of the things that are going wrong. I could use the water pump stations and extract water from the river here, which would make life a lot easier. We wouldn't have to do quite so much landscaping work, but I kind of don't want to do that. Mainly because I think it's going to add to the challenge if we don't do that. Now, what I'd like to do is I want to come down here. We've got this island that we started building last time. And at least to start with, we're going to take on this side of the island right here. It's a new piece of land available for purchase. Yeah, I know that. There's quite a few of them, actually. If you want to get technical about it, there's a number of new places available for purchase. So we're going to take these here, and I'm going to put several of them along here in a line like this. If I can put them along here sensibly without them going too insane. Put that one there, and then that one there, and then another one over there. Right, so that is going to double up the number of water in-feed points that we're going to get. Join all these together. Like that. And then we can zoom out a little bit. And the first one is going to join right in there like that. And then I'm going to take another one of these. And I'm going to join that one all the way up there like that. And yes, I know I don't have to. No, I don't actually care. I'm going to do it anyway. Because I am stubborn like that. I'm also going to put a new one of these into here. Just because I can. There. That right in there and join in with 1977 Rugrat. Crossroads. That was why I stopped doing it, was because of the whole crossroads thing. Kept flashing up about the crossroads. But I've had buildings collapse now, and I think those I'd like the building collapsing thing not to be an issue for us. So right, we'll bring that over there like that and join that one into there. So we've now got, that should be power all the way down. That's powered those pumps down there. We've now got a capacity of 2.1 million. We won't have any problems whatsoever. Excellent. Perfect. Wonderful. Amazing. And this is all going to start draining this down. It looks like it's actually done that pretty quick. Look at the wave there that it's formed. It's already made like a little wave. That's absolutely brilliant. I love that it's done that. I really like that that is a thing, that it is actually done. The next thing that I want to do, though, is I want to create an island because we want to get some more sewage effluents coming in here. So I want to create an island in the middle here. And yes, we're going to do yet another island that I want to build. And I want to be able to do something with it. At the moment, we don't have much demand for industry or anything else. We're going to need to raise the level of this river here. And I'm hoping that that will, in turn... I mean, we could just delete this... I wonder if we could do that. I wonder how well that would work. If I was to just remove the water source from this lake, how would that affect it? Let's do that first. That's the first thing we're going to do. If you go onto there and you right-click that one, that's gone now. We no longer have a water source in the lake. So how is this going to affect how it runs? Are we going to have the water run downhill? Is it going to, like, sink down? Is the level going to drop? Or is it going to start filling up even more? Because if you've got a water source, it will also take water out to that water source. So what I wanted to do today was I do want to play around with water sources. I want to move quantities of water around and generally just kind of mess things up a bit. Nigel Pipe over here is very close to taking a meteor straight from space. Now, there are those of you who say that this is not a realistic thing. I disagree. Just because it doesn't happen right now doesn't mean that at some time in the future our scientists will not have the power to lasso by some kind of energy a meteor in outer space and haul that meteor in and put it somewhere neatly on the planet. So just because it hasn't happened yet doesn't mean it can't happen at all. So I say that it is realistic. It's just futuristic. That's all. That's my argument. It is futuristic. Plenty realistic.
Warning.
It's fine.
Experts predict an earthquake could hit the area soon.
An earthquake. Right, where's that going to strike? Please don't be on the dam. Here we go. Oh, that's fine. That is fine.
An earthquake is occurring. Don't panic and wait for help if you are in the affected area.
I said that it was fine, but it seems to have created some kind of tsunami as well, which may not actually do... to be honest, I don't think that wave there is going to affect us too badly. If it had been up in here, then yes, it probably would, but I don't think this is going to be much of an issue. I don't think we're going to have to worry about it. A little bit of a slop here onto the shore, maybe, but yeah, it'll be fine. Right. The other thing, now that we've got this... ooh, what's going on over here? What is going on over here? There's just a dead person waiting for transport. I wonder why it was green. Tom the Yank over here has got garbage piling up. Randall White Correctional Facility right there. There is garbage piling up. It is quite bad, actually. And... right, so yeah, like I said, you know, we've got the Randall White Correctional Facility. We've got quite a few different names already in here, and I'm aware that I'm probably going to be repeating names in here sooner than I'd actually originally anticipated, but it'll be fine. It will be absolutely fine. The next thing that we wanted to do was, well, I think actually I do want to build the island here, because we're going to soon be at maximum capacity for, well... not yet, but we're heading towards maximum capacity with sewage. So if I go to here, to the landscaping tools, we've got that, we'll just raise it up. And it's this one here. The level terrain does seem to be the best one. Brush strength, I do not want brush strength of 1. I want brush strength to be down like that, 0.04. It's got to be quite sort of subtle, the brush strength. And I actually want this to come up quite high, so I'm going to take a sample from here. Oh, size, single. I go a bit bigger in that. Let's go to about 6. There we go. Let's try that. All right. So we're going quite high. It's terrain height. We're going 276. So this is going to be a very high island that I'm going to put in here. I've got that great big dip in there, and this is the bit. This is going to do. This is going to make sort of quite an impact. I'm actually thinking of like opening this up a little bit and bringing that around over here. So we've got a little bit more on there. Yeah, you're going to tell me to buy land just continuously from this point on. See, by putting that up there, see how high this is going? That's kind of the level that I want to go up to. Right there. How badly has that affected the water? That doesn't seem to have affected the water too badly, to be honest. Let's bring up another... we'll bring up another spike here. I see. By sort of going up higher on it, it does make more of a difference. So I'll bring that one up. Now, this is the point where it's going to start getting a little bit more difficult. And, well, when I say difficult, what I mean is I don't want it to go. Like, I don't want to be putting in loads of water too fast, because I'm sort of conscious of the fact that it could cause me some problems. Now, if I can bring that up round there like that. Bring this. We've got like a... Tell you what, this is like one of those volcanic rings that you get in the jungle. Not in the jungle, in Buildmore Industrial Zone. Yeah, you go away. Not in the jungle. It's not in the jungle at all. This is like one of those volcanic rings that you get like in the Pacific, in the ocean. The ocean. Why was I thinking jungle? I genuinely have no idea why I thought jungle then. Just remove that a second and we'll see how bad... Right. We've got some waves sort of floating around, but at the moment it's not too bad. We've got a little bit of flooding over this side, But generally speaking, the flooding, that's like the limit of where the flooding can be. This island here, Tom the Yank, is going to have the most problems. And what I was actually thinking is that we could raise the level of these two islands by doing extra bit around the outside of them, raising them up a bit higher. I may have gone a little bit overboard with this. That may be a little bit overkill. So let's go back into here. And now, instead of taking it all the way up there, I'm going to take it about that height. So we've got 150 on our height. And then if I go onto here, and I'll also make the brush a bit wider. Okay, that is lowering it down by quite a lot. Bring it out to that level. I don't know. Actually, no, we can go up a bit higher than 150. So what are we at? So that's 150. That puts me up to about 180 there. We go to a 182 a minute, and we'll see what that does. Because I do want this island here to be higher than all of the surrounding islands. There. That's going to work. Now bring that in, and it's going to fill this one up. Fill the whole thing up. And the water that is in here now is all going to sort of flow out. Again. That is absolutely fine in my book. Absolutely fine. So then we can just sort of level off this high point that we've created. There we go. We've now got a nice level area that's being smoothed out. It's going to cause a bit of major flooding in a minute, just as we finish this piece off. It's going to be worth it. It's definitely going to be worth it. We're going to bring that one out. So we've got a plateau type island again. All of our islands we make are plateau types. That is actually quite a severe wave that has been produced because of this. We just fill that bit in the middle. There's a more severe wave there than I actually anticipated. Right. I'll get rid of that a minute. We need to just watch this and... Okay, that is quite a big wave that is flowing over this island. I genuinely did not think it was going to be that bad. The office... This is just the big office area has taken quite a pounding from the waves there. The prison over here, the prisoners are about to get soggy toes again. This does seem to happen to them on a fairly regular basis. I'm not very nice to all the people that live on my island, am I? I'm generally fairly unpleasant to be around, I'm starting to think. So now if we go to here, we've got soften terrain there. Use the primary mouse button to smooth gently, secondary for a strong effect. And then slope. Create a slope from the current height to the desired height. Click with secondary to set slope location. And then click with the primary to drag to adjust. So let's see. I have no idea what this is going to work. So then I go like that. This is what I want to do. I kind of want to soften out the edges of this a little bit. But I also want to... That doesn't soften anything out. Is here. Ditch. Nope. Soften terrain. Right, that softens out the edges a little bit. Brings it up a bit. So really we want to put a slope here like that. I want to bring that one out kind of like that. And... Well, I guess actually I want to kind of bring it out like that all the way around. If I go like that. I see. Right, we drag it downwards. Sort of like this. And then it slopes it out a bit. So we bring that one out all the way around. That'll work. That works for me. We pull that out like that. And just, all I'm doing is just kind of sliding the whole thing out. Going from the primary mouse button. I haven't clicked the left click button at all. I'm just using the primary mouse button here. And then moving it downwards like that. And that is probably going to cause us another major... catastrophe back on some of the other bits of the islands, but at this point, I think they're learning to cope. Most of the residents on those islands now keep as standard dinghies and things like that in their garage so that they can sort of float around. When things start to get bad, that they can float around with dinghies and things like that, and it doesn't cause any problems for them. So they're adapting. This is what they're doing. Overcome and adapt. Adapt and overcome. We'll bring that out like that. There we go. Bring you down there. And out you go. So we've got like a little bit of a plateau on the top. So what I want to do here is I want to just bring that up a little bit. But this, I've got to go slow on this. Because I want to bring this up a bit. Sort of like this. There. I'll bring that one up there. But I don't want to do this too sharp. Because it's going to affect how things happen later. For my plans later for this island. Right, I think that's actually, we're going to stop right there with that island. I'm not going to do any more changes to it. It's going to stay exactly as it is. And the next bit that we're going to do, see, we got to wait for the waters to subside on there. So we'll let them just sort of carry on their simulation. Now, what is happening over here? The water has subsided a little bit on this lake. It hasn't risen. It has actually dropped down just the tiniest of fractions. Not a great deal, but it has dropped down a little bit because the water does appear now to be flowing. You know, I'm genuinely not sure which way it's going. I think it's coming out this way, just by a little bit. That hasn't changed. That is still the same height all the way around. It is almost at the point where it's bursting over the banks. We've got a lot of work involved ahead of us to sort of correct all of that. We've got waves out here that are still flowing around. I'm guessing as a residual effect from the earthquake that occurred over here. But generally speaking, that's doing fairly well. I mean, we've also got a little bit of flooding, I think, occurring here because of the flooding that's occurring up here. But the power is fluctuating a bit, and that's the displaced water that's come from the lake up here. You can see it's sort of rising up, going back. We've got flooding over here in Tonza. Zorta 777 is doing all right up there. Dante is fine. There's no issues over there. It's mostly Tonza is the one where you get the flooding, just down here, and that's just a little bit that's slopped over the side of the flood defense. And that, again, is something that's kind of just rectifying itself slowly, and it's going to end up being just absolutely fine without any problems. Next up, we're going over to here. We're going to get the eco treatment plant, and this one, we're going to put a number of these in a circle all the way around the edge of this island. And now you understand why I wanted this island to be sloped all the way up to the middle, because I'm going to put these out here, and this is going to be now the primary water dump for everything. And then once the capacity of all of these has been used up, then the new capacity, I'll then put another line of them up here. So it recommends a shoreline. That's a little bit too steep up there, but we'll be able to put more of them up there. And it'll work well, I believe. I hope. We can bring that in to there. We're going to fit one more. Yes, nice. Okay, that has actually fitted perfectly. It's demanding more industrial zone. I don't like demands, so I'm going to ignore it. Right, now, join all of these in. There, and keep going all the way around. We want to go right the way around in a circle on this one. So we get to the very end of it. Keep going. There, you, and you. Right, so we've got those all circled in. And then I can go and join that one into there. And I'll join another one in over to here, just because I can. And I'm going to take one there, and I'm going to join that one in all the way down to there, like that. And then I'm going to take one there, and I'm going to join that one in there. Redundancies. I'm building in redundancies. Lots and lots of redundancies. Okay. That's that bit there. Do I have power on this? Oh, I do. Okay. It's actually, the power is just across there. It's just enough. Disconnected power grid. It's 1600 megawatts at the moment. Right. All of those are currently working, which has now produced yet another wave effect, which is going to cause, like, a couple of little issues here in places, I think. That's all joined up. Oh, it's these two over here. I don't think there's anything else that's disconnected. No, that's all fine over there. I've got a building over here that has collapsed. That's ready for rebuild. I think that one just rebuilds as and when it's ready. You don't need to do anything to it. So our biggest complaint at the moment is a lack of industrial land. We're going to expand this one over this side, and that should take care of this blinking we're getting every now and then. This complaint about the lack of power to everything. So we put that one in there and join that one in as well. And Join that up. There we go. And up to there. So Gooseman X and Tyree are both going to be filling up with... You know what? I'm just going to fill these right up. I'm gonna go all the way. All out. Everything. All the way through. Join them all in. There. Beautiful. It's like poetry in motion. It really is. We get all of that lot running. We've got a station over here already. This lot is going to take a little while to sort of start expanding out, but it will get there. It's just going to be steady. And then once they all join together, the power situation will be dealt with everything. And we will stop getting that warning coming up, which would be wonderful. Nigel Pipe over here. We are going to be throwing a large space object at you soon, but not quite yet. Now, what's happening over here? Is this filling up again? I can't quite tell what's happening with the lake. We need to go there and to water, and then we can see. Okay. Water, what are you doing? Oh, right, you are running in this way. So you're running in here and into the lake over here. Because I've removed the water source from here. I got a feeling I may need to put the water source back in there in order for this to work properly. Yeah, I know there's more land. This is why I didn't want it. But we've had buildings collapse, and I got no logical explanation as to why they've collapsed. Which is why I don't want to be adding in lots more. I mean, I know that I need to keep the disasters in the middle. As long as they keep them in this... Alright, we'll ignore it. I'm just going to ignore that because I don't need to do anything to them. I do think that we should raise that water source up. That's got to be our next big thing that we do, is lift that water source. But before we lift that... If I lift that water source right now, all that's going to happen is the water's going to get as far as here. It's going to flood across the train track. And it's just going to fill that plain up there. It's going to fill all of this up with water. And it's going to flood out this entire city over this side. Excuse me. Right, what are you? You are a residential building. You're a residential building. What are you? So are you. Lafayette building. Why are they all collapsing? I don't really understand why they're falling down. I must have had, like, a disaster that I wasn't even aware of that happened, or something like that. Now, has this lake settled down yet? I think it has. We got 288, 277. That's looking pretty good. We do want to kind of dig that down a little bit deeper, I think, and dig this down a little bit deeper to try and send the water this way, and so it's got a bigger drop. It's partly to do with the drop from there down to there as to what keeps that dam running. And I think the water quantity does play into it a little bit. If I was to move that and bring that across there, open up this area, I think that might help a little. Well, I don't know if that's going to help or not. I genuinely have no idea if that's going to help. But, I mean, we could do that. We could work on that. We'll do a little bit of that. See, I don't want to do, like, the big job that I've got for raising that water level yet. I don't think we need to do that at the moment. Now, get rid of you. Move that brush size down a little bit. Put you onto that height there. And then we want to bring this one here. So this here, there. Pull that out like that. And then, right, well, we're going to increase the brush size a little bit. Brush strength doesn't need to be altered. The brush strength is perfect at 0.04. So remember that for the next episode. 0.04, ladies and gentlemen, is the one that we want. So if I bring that along there, that's about the right height there. It could possibly go up a tiny fraction higher. Can I get a tiny fraction higher? I can. I can go up to that height up there. I set it up. This is 151.82. There. See? Goes up a couple more notches. That's perfect. Bring that through. There we go. Right. And I want to bring that over to this edge over here like that. And then bring it around there. So that'll go around that side. And we'll just worry about this side for now. And then we can deal with the other side of the dam maybe another time. Maybe in the next episode or something, but not today. So bring that across there. Fill that little bit in there. Go on. A little bit more. And... right, I'd say that's about perfect. So next up we want... nope, we don't want that. There we go. We want this one here. First of all, we're going to remove flood defense walls all the way back through here. And they're going to delete all the way back to there. Like that. And then I'm going to take flood defense walls. And I'm going to use the curve. I'm going to bring that one over. And bring that one to that point right there. And this is going to run around here. And go right up to that edge as much as it possibly can. There. Right. That should be... Yes, that's perfect. That goes right to the very edge of the dam. There is nothing wrong with that whatsoever. So then, what I want to do is I want to set my next point to... I was going to say the bottom of the Marianas Trench down there, but that's probably not the best idea, actually. We'll just set it to about there. I can dig this down a little bit, like this. We've got a little bit of water that's trying to flow over the top at the moment, but we don't need to worry about that. Not for a minute. And just dig that out there. And then push on in this way and let the wall collapse. Let me pause this a minute. This is going to be fun. Increase the brush size. There we go. And just do that a minute. All the way out to that wall. And this piece over here. Right the way back. Just level that out a minute. Everything on the bottom. Don't want to level any more of it, I don't think. No. Nope, that's perfect. Exactly like that. So then we can remove this. And then we can just watch this little bit play through. There we go. The water has been removed, and in it will go with a whoosh. The water has been removed, the wall has been removed. So that's all going to come sort of pouring in through there. This dam is... Yep, that one stopped now. It'll fill up in a minute. Don't worry, it'll be fine. But first of all, we've got to have this massive wave. Look at all the water here. We've got a huge displacement over here. We're just going to come and pour up over here. It's going to slop right out over the wall. But then it's going to reverse. And the wave is going to go... See, this over here, this is not going to affect anything, really. It may just flood the road down there. But once this is done, it's then going to reverse. And it's going to go back over that way. Look, see? See the water draining out? That's getting ready for a tsunami to come in over 1977 Rugrat, Tom the Yank. And it's no good. They are about to get some bad stuff go down. There is some bad stuff about to go down there. Look, the dam is flooding out over here. We've got serious flooding here on the railway. Right the way through. Although that's now is sort of coming alright. Flooding on the roads. It's coming alright. We've got flooding coming out over there. It's doing okay. I honestly thought there'd be more flooding down here. It is... Oh, maybe there's some more water coming down. Okay, there's a lot more flooding on the railway there than I thought there'd be. That is actually quite bad. Those trains are going right under... Those trains are pretty good. They're going right underwater. There we go. I told you there's going to be some bad flooding down here. What's happening up this way? There goes the flooding. See, 1977 Rugrat. I'm just going to call him Rugrat. It's just easier if I say Rugrat. But there it goes. That's pouring in through there. But this is the bit. This is the bad bit down here. You go away. I don't care about you. And although the lighthouse has still managed to survive, that was quite the wave that has gone through here. This is going to take a little bit to sort of settle down. But, I mean, it will. It will. We've got a little bit of... This one got off more lightly than I thought it might. I did think that the flooding would be worse on there. I mean, we've still got the wave flowing back up through here a bit. But it's not doing anywhere near as much damage as I thought it would. I genuinely thought it would be worse than that. I really did. Genuinely thought it would be worse. That's alright. That's good. We've got this little bit. It is just going to kind of rest up a minute. And then it's going to change. And that'll be good. See, the one thing I don't like with this mod that we're now using is I don't pay any money to move the earth around. That's the one little tiny detail of it that I don't like. But yeah, we'll worry about that another time. So in our next episode, we're going to be raising this water source over here. And I did say that really we ought to just raise the bank all the way along here to protect the city from the potential flood that is... Well, potential the near certain flood that is going to happen. However, I'm not a very nice person, as many of you know. Well, nobody's actually said that. It must be pointed out that nobody's actually said, oh, you're not a very nice person, Frith. So maybe you don't realise this. So I'm telling you now, I'm not necessarily a very nice person. And I'm not going to build the flood defences up before I raise the level of that river. No. What I'm going to do... What is wrong here? Not enough goods to sell? Oh, yeah, because we got the demand for industry. But the demand for industry should be fine over here. Why have I got a water shortage? Have I not put the water... city... Oh. City needs more power. Production is only 1,200. So we have a water shortage throughout the entire city. And I suspect that is partly because that dam is not doing anything at the moment. I'm going to deal with this next time. We're going to leave this on a cliffhanger. That's what we got. We got a cliffhanger right here. This is going to be awesome. Okay, not much for cliffhanger because we're just adding some more power plants and that'll be fine. But yeah, I'm going to flood the city. We're going to have some major flooding going on because we're going to raise that water source there up by quite a bit. I'm not just going to do it a little bit. I'm going to raise that one up by quite a bit. And then we're going to have to work our way along and rebuild flood defenses, redirect the river a little bit, so that the water source is higher than here, and hopefully then we've got most of the water running through this lake and over that dam. That's the ultimate goal here. We may even be able to remove some of this and make that dam bigger. We'll see. But anyway, if you've enjoyed this episode, then please head down below and give us a like. And if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me. Get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. And until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.